Go ahead and hold up your transparent slide for me just so I can make sure everyone has one. Hold it up so I can see it, please. Okay, it's kind of hard to see anything, but I hear them. Very nice.
We're going to irritate us.
Hold up your pens if you got them. Very nice, Johnny. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So these are going to stay with you in your pocket. These are going to stay in this classroom, okay? Which means a majority of our work is going to have to be done in class, unless you have an expo marker at home, okay? If you have one, great. If not, you really, really need to use your time wisely because you will not get to take this home today. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so some of you guys that do one problem, two problem, and then chill and go, I'll do the rest at home, you cannot do that with this. You have to do this here, okay? So, we're going to talk about 3 different types of rotations. When I'm rotating something, I have 2 things. I have a degree and I have a direction. Okay? What does this right here say? What number is that?
90.
90 degrees. What 90 degrees tells me is that I'm doing 1 turn. What's the direction that comes after 90 degrees? Clockwise. Do you guys know what direction clockwise turns? That way? Not specific enough? Look at the clock. You see the little red hand? What direction is it turning? To the right. Thank you. Clockwise means to the right. Okay? So when I say rotate PQR 90 degrees clockwise, that means turn this 1 turn to the right. Okay? Let's get some pre-image coordinates here. What are my pre-image coordinates for point P? Yeah, Ukamba?
1 and 4.
1, comma 4. Thank you, sir. What about point Q? Yeah, Ukamba, go for it.
4, 4.
4, comma 4. Thank you. Ukamba, you want to do point R for me as well?
Yeah.
Perfect.
4, 2.
4, comma 2. Thank you. Okay. What am I going to slap in the middle of PQR?
1.
A 1. Because PQR is my pre-image. Okay. So my directions say I'm going to rotate this shape 90 degrees clockwise around the origin. Where's the origin? In the middle. What are the coordinates of the origin again, everyone?
0.
0, 0. Okay, that's this little guy right here. So if you play basketball, you or have seen basketball stuff, you know what a pivot foot is, right?
Yeah.
No? So if I have the ball, right, and I've already picked up my dribble, I can only pivot on the one or the first foot that I put down. So I'd have to turn like this. You see what I'm saying? I can only pick up my left foot. I can't pick up my right one because then it's a travel. I can only turn with my left. Kylie? Okay, I'll get you a new one. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? I gotta keep this right foot planted. That's what my origin is here. My origin is my pivot foot. Okay? Question? No? Okay. So go ahead and write here, origin is like my pivot foot.
So you can't move the origin?
You can't move the origin, but I'm going to move around the origin. Okay? If I plant my right foot and pivot all the way around it, I just made a circle. That's kind of like what my rotation is going to look like. So, here's the process. We got nice simple steps. So tomorrow when we get our warm-up and you look at the question and go, I have no idea what to do, I'm just going to shake my head because there's 6 steps that we're going to follow. Okay? Can I get a volunteer to read step 1? Lola, go for it.
Size your transparent slide, hold the graph.
Perfect. Everybody's got their slide? Yes? Place it over the graph. Just like that. All right? Everyone cool on that step? Perfect. You combo, what does step 2 say?
Draw a plus where your origin is.
Perfect. So we're going to hold this slide steady with our non-dominant hand. For most of us, that's our left hand. You're going to take your expo marker and you're going to mark the origin with a plus. Okay, I'm establishing my pivot foot that I'm going to rotate this triangle around. Okay? Everyone cool on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Phaedra.
Can I read number 3?
Yeah, sure. Try this one. Does that work, Phaedra? Okay. So I got my plus sign at the origin. All right, what does step 3 say to do? Yeah, you comment?
Trace and label all 3 points of the triangle.
Perfect. So while we keep this plus at my origin, I'm going to make a dot at point P. I'm going to make a dot at point Q. And I'm going to make a dot at point R. Essentially what we're doing here is replicating this graph and taking it off the page so that I can manipulate it much easier. Okay? So my plus should line up at the origin. Those 3 dots should line up at the 3 dots. And I'm going to label them. This one here is P. This one here is Q. This one here is R. It's really important that we do this because when we turn this, our points are going to be in a very different orientation. Okay? That's step 3. Does that setup sound okay? We should have a slide that now looks like this. Yeah, nod your head if that makes sense so far. Perfect. Step 4. This is the most important step. We're going to rotate our slide to the right 1 time. How do I know I'm going to the right? Because it says clockwise. How do I know I'm only turning it 1 time?
Because it says 1 time.
Because it says
90%.
90 degrees, right? So to the right is that way. So if you imagine this little square is a steering wheel, I'm going to turn my steering wheel following that arrow to the right. You guys see that? I'm going to do it again. I'm starting out here. I'm going to turn my steering wheel to the right. How do I know I've turned it 1 time? Well, when the plus lines back up at the origin like that, that's how you know you've turned it 1 time. Okay, I'm going to do that again. We're starting here. We're going to turn the whole slide to the right 1 time. 90 degrees until the plus lines back up. And this is where we land. Everyone cool on that?
Yeah.
Now I see exactly where my image points need to be. So I'm going to put my pen off to the side for now. I'm done using my pen. I'm going to go back to my pencil. Right? We don't want to write with the expo markers on paper because that dries them out. So this is the part that typically gets people a little confused. So I need to make sure you're paying attention. Okay? I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to hover over my new position for point P. Okay, everybody looking up here? I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to move my slide and then make my dot. Okay, once again, I'm hovering over it. I'm not touching it. I move my slide and then make my dot right there on the paper. What am I going to label this new point as?
P prime.
P prime. That's why we label the slide. So I know, oh, there's P. Because as we can see, P and P prime are in much different positions. That's not something we could just count to. Okay, then I put my slide back up. Another way or another reason we put that plus at the origin is so we can always line it back up perfectly. I'm going to hover over point Q. I'm going to slide my slide out of the way and make my dot at Q prime. I'm going to bring my slide back over. Line everything up nicely. hover over point R, move out of the way, make my dot R prime. Now, when I connect these three dots together, I can see my triangle 2. Does this look like a translation? Does it look like we just took my shape, slid it over, slid it down like number 1 in the warm-up?
No.
No. Does it look like a reflection where it's a perfect mirrored image on both sides of the line? No. It's something completely different. We took our shape and we turned it. What are my coordinates for P prime? Yeah, you comma?
4, -1.
Perfect. 4, -1. What about Q prime, buddy?
Q is 4, -4.
Perfect. And R prime?
2, -4.
Perfect. You get it? Okay. Take a look at these points. What happened from P to P prime? There's a couple things that happened to my coordinates from P to P prime. Amari, what happened?
The numbers switched.
The numbers switched spots. That's an absolutely perfect observation. My 1 went to the back and my 4 came to the front. But what else happened?
The 1 got changed to
The
a -1.
1 flipped signs. My 1 was positive. Now my 1 is negative. Okay? The same thing happened with Q, except 4 and 4 switching spots doesn't really change anything. But we can see in point R that my 4-2 turned into a 2-4, and that back number got flipped as well. So we're not going to get into the rule, but that's just a good thing to note. We're not changing the numbers, we're just adjusting them a little bit. Alrighty? Quick show of thumbs, how much sense does that make to you? Thumbs up, makes total sense. I could probably do it. Thumbs sideways, it's kind of making sense. Maybe I could do it, I just got to try it. Thumbs down, that makes no sense at all. Okay, I appreciate the feedback. That's good. This transformation is either the easiest of the 3 or the hardest, depending on who you are and who you ask. Okay? Let's look down at this next one. Anytime I have a rotation, I'm going to have a degree and a direction. How many degrees is this one going to turn? 90 degrees. Well, how many turns is that again? 1 turn. But what direction am I going here? Counterclockwise. What does counter mean? It means I'm going to turn to the left. What does the prefix counter mean, though? Has anyone ever played Counter-Strike before? No? No one knows what I'm talking about? Yeah. Erase your slides with your finger, your jacket, or whatever. I'm not going to pass out 34 erasers. That's fun.
Do you have 34 erasers?
I have an infinite number of paper towels, but not 34 erasers. So counter means to do the opposite. Okay, there's a game called Counter-Strike, and what that name means is that you're striking back. Someone strikes you, you counter-strike. You strike back.
Like the boat game.
I have no idea. I don't know what the game entails, I just know the name. Counterclockwise means I'm doing the opposite of clockwise. And if clockwise is to the right, counterclockwise is to the left. Right? So this time I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to take my shape, and again, this is the same triangle, just different letters. So my pre-image points are going to be the same. Point S is at 1,4. Point T is at 4,4. And point U is at 4,2. What am I going to throw in the middle of this triangle again? A 1 with a circle. It's my pre-image. You don't have to put the circle. No. can see where we're going to take this next week. The reason why we're numbering our triangles, okay, is because when I get to something like this, I'm going to need to know what my triangle 1 is, my triangle 2, my triangle 3, my triangle 4. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. I got to make sure I keep my stuff in order. So right now we're keeping it simple, but that's where we're taking it next week before our test.
We're doing that.
Yeah, it won't be bad. As long as you know the 3 transformations, you can do all of them together. You just got to do them. So I'm going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise. Let's follow our steps once again. I'm going to put my slide over my graph. Then what? Make a plus. Where do I make a plus? Anywhere? At the origin, I'm going to make my plus. I'm going to establish my pivot foot. Then what? You said what? Turn it? Ooh, not yet.
Oh, label it. Label
I got to
it.
dot my points and label them. S, T, U.
Wait. Why you put the on?
Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry. Good catch. Then, Amore, what am I going to do?
Turn it.
Now I'm going to turn it. Am I going to turn it to the left or to the right? To the left. How do I know I'm turning it to the left?
It says on the rule.
Because it says counterclockwise. And my steps say I'm going to go to the left one time. For counterclockwise. So again, I'm turning it this way. If I take my steering wheel and I turn to the left, it's going to go all the way over. 190-degree turn until my plus line's back up at the center. I'm going to put my expo marker down, switch to my pencil or my pen, and I'm going to dot, or I'm going to hover over S. I'm going to move out of the way, and I'm going to make my dot. I'm going to bring it back, hover over point T, move it out of the way, and make my second dot. T prime, S prime. I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to hover over point U, move my slide out of the way, make my third dot at U prime. Now I'm going to connect them all up, throw a 2 in the middle, now at first glance this one kind of does look like a reflection, right? It looks like we kind of just pasted it on both sides, but notice how the bottom of this triangle goes much lower than the bottom of my original. That's because this point S turned over into this position. We didn't just flip it around, we turned it around. What are my coordinates for S prime? Where did S land up after our rotation? Yeah, Z? Perfect. -4, +1. What about T prime? Yeah, Johnny?
-4, 4.
Perfect. And U prime? Yeah, Hakeem? -2, 4. Great job. Take a look at my S and S prime. What happened here between S and S prime? Yeah, Xavier? They switched spots again. My 1 and 4 swapped, but which one did we flip this time, the 1 or the 4? We flipped the 4. Up here, we swapped them and flipped the 1. Down here, we swapped them and flipped the 4. Yeah.
How would you know if you're going left or right?
It'll tell you rotate 90 degrees clockwise or 90 degrees counterclockwise. In the same way that the question will tell you if you're reflecting over the X or the Y, it's going to do the same thing with this. Okay? You guys see the difference between those two? Right? It's the same process, just going a different direction. All right? So that's the first two. Let's talk about the third one. What does the third one tell me to do with this rotation? How many degrees is this one?
180.
180. What direction?
Doesn't
Right or
say.
left?
It doesn't say. If 90 degrees is one turn, what is 180 degrees? 2. turns. Why doesn't it tell me a direction, though? How do I know if I'm going 2 turns to the left or the right, Lola?
Wait, never mind. Go.
Okay. Think about it for a second. Yeah, you comment?
Because 90 degrees is counterclockwise.
90 degrees? Well, 90 degrees could be regular clockwise, too. Z? Yep, 90 plus 90 equals 180. So I know I'm going to go 1 turn, 2 turn. But how do I know what direction, Alasia? Do you have an idea? Same thing.
Yeah.
Johnny, last one?
On the
Or,
thing, on the thing, it says go right or left.
okay, so you read ahead and you see we can go right or left. Jada, what were you going to say? Oh, the same thing? Okay. Let me put it like this. If I'm facing you right now, and I turn to the right once, twice, now I'm facing the door, right? If I turn twice to the left, once, twice, where am I facing? The door. It doesn't matter if I go 2 turns to the left or 2 turns to the right, I'm going to end up in the same spot. You guys ever heard the phrase 2 lefts don't make a right? Is that right? That sounds...
It's wrong. Make it right.
2 wrongs don't make a right. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me. So 180 degrees, sorry if that confused you. 2 turns either way. Or either, let's be specific, either direction. This is the easiest one because we can't turn the wrong way. As long as we turn it twice, we've done it right. Okay. I'm going to put my slide over my let's get our pre-image coordinates. Again, they're the same. X is at 1, 4. Y is at 4, 4. And Z is at 4, 2. Alrighty. What am I going to throw inside this triangle again? A 1. Now let's do our rotation. I'm going to put my slide over my graph and then do what?
Put a plus inside.
Put a plus in the middle. Then what?
And then right should, I forgot what it's called. The X, Y.
Yeah, I'm going to dot my points and label them X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And now I'm going to turn this twice. Here's what 2 rotations look like. Let's say I go to the left. There's 1 turn, I line my plus back up. 2 turns, I line my plus back up. That was 2 turns to the left. What quadrant did I end up in? What quadrant am I in now? 3. Let's go back to the beginning. What if I did 2 turns to the right?
Ooh, you're gonna end up in 3.
1 turn to the right, 2 turns to the right. Am I still in quadrant 3?
Yeah.
Yes. So with 180, my direction does not matter. As long as I turn it twice, I'm going to end up in the same spot. So I end up right here. I'm going to hover over point X and make a dot, X prime. Bring it back. Hover over Y, make a dot, Y prime. Bring it back. Hover over point Z, make a dot, label it Z prime, and connect my dots together with a 2 in the middle. Now let's do the coordinates. What are my X prime coordinates? Yeah, Ukamba?
The X.
Yep.
Oh, -4, -4. -1, -4.
Yeah, -1, -4. What's Y though? You just said it.
-4, -4.
Perfect. And Z prime?
-4, -2.
Perfect. Did we swap the 1 and the 4 like we did last time? With the 90 degrees? No. Think about it. If I turn something 90 degrees, I swap the X and Y. So if I do 90 and then another 90, I swap them, but then swap them back in their original places. You guys feel me on that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What did I do with the 1 and the 4 though?
The
I flipped both of the signs. So 1, 4 turns to negative 1, negative 4. 4, 4 turns to negative 4, negative 4. And 4, 2 turns to negative 4, negative 2. All right? Like I said, we're not going to talk about the rule today. I just want us to get comfortable using this little guy. So let's go ahead and do that with this. You got 2 problems here to practice with. The first one is a 90-degree clockwise rotation.
Oh, they don't want us to do points.
No coordinates. Just get the shape where it needs to be with the labels correctly. Yeah. No points on the homework. You're just performing the rotation. Okay? And the second one, 90 degrees counterclockwise. Take a few minutes, give it a try. Follow the steps. The steps are the same. The only thing that's different between my different transformations or my different rotations is how many times I'm turning it and what direction. Short. Okay? Give it a shot. See what you get. Don't worry about the coordinates. This one turned clockwise. Nice. And this one went counterclockwise. Nice. Yeah, so see how here MN is slanted and MN is slanted? No, it's slanted, right? Diagonal. Here AC is slanted, but somehow AC became straight. So something, see if you can catch, when you come back, see if you can catch what possibly went wrong there. So that's an easy way to tell something's slightly off. That's a good job. Nice. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good. Yeah, good job. So this one, if I'm going clockwise, right, it means I'm turning this way. So if my shape is right here, and I turn it this way, I'm gonna end up here, right? So when we say clockwise means to the right, that doesn't just mean, oh, it's gonna be to the right in my previous. It's turning it to the right and ending up here. Okay. This one looks great. But fix that first. Why don't you come back? Yeah, she just left. Oh, my goodness.
Steve, I feel like a lot of hands sometimes.
Okay, so this one, we went 90 degrees, but we went to the left. It's kind of hard because when we're talking about circular motion, you gotta think a little bit hard about which one's left or right. Because yes, this new shape is to the right of that shape, but we didn't turn that shape to the right.
Yeah. Wait, so this is
So it's not right or left. It's right or left.
so this is right, this is left.
I just said it's not right and left like that. It's a circular right or a circular left. So here, right? Turn this slide to the left. There you go. That's where we're going to end up. But this one, you also turn to the left. Let's see how this one's down in the bottom left. Turn this to the left one more time. See how we end up over there? So that means this one you turn to the left. Clockwise means you got to turn to the right. You're going to end up here. So finish this one off since you have it marked already, and then go back and see if you
Wait,
can fix that.
so since this is clockwise, I turn that way.
That's to the right. That would be clockwise. This is counter. You had it right the first time. We start here. To the left means we're going that way. Okay. Same thing. When we're talking about circular directions, it's a little bit trickier. If I start here and end here, that means I turn this to the left. I need to take it and turn it to the right. And I put this part right here.
Hey, I do it right.
Yes, you did. Good job, Joseph.
Exactly.
Nice job, you comment. Good job, Hunter.
My brother.
Nice. Good job.
I know. Damn.
You And you remember when I said don't use the extra much for on paper, because it dries them out. And I have to buy more.
It just where it's not.
This way, you gotta be careful. Right? We're going to the right. Circular motion would be up to here. Good job. Good job, Mom. Yeah, so if I take the steering wheel to the right, like there exactly, and then we can make sure.
Hey, that's my pencil.
So, it's weird to think about that. Circular motion is different than linear. So if I say go to the right and go to the left, I know, okay, I'm doing this thing also. But turning to the right and the left depends on where we start. When we started up here, we're just using for us to be eight. If I was starting at the bottom, it's still just eight. You know what I mean? Like, look at the red hand right here. It looks like it's turning to the left, right? It's going 7, 8, 8 is slapping at 7. But the circular motion is still turning to the right. Okay? So the good thing is if you ever get stuck, you can just watch the clock for a second and figure it out. Good job. Nice face. No one's going to start on the homework, so just sit tight. Sit tight, please, both of you. Sit down. Okay. So I see a common problem about 40% of us made with part A. And I understand why. Because circular motion is a little bit tricky to visualize. Okay, but what I was saying with C back there is if we look at this clock, right, you see the red hand turning? The red hand is always turning clockwise because it's a clock. That's why it's called clockwise. It's always turning to the right. But when it's at the bottom half of my circle, it looks like it's going to the left now. Because 6, 7, 8 is going to the left.
6, 7.
Right? But the circular motion is still going to the right. Okay? So if we're iffy on, hey, am I turning, I know it says I'm turning clockwise. Should I go this way or should I go that way? Just watch the clock for a second. Split it into quadrants and just watch the red hand. That's always going to be going clockwise because it's a clock, right? So if I'm starting out down here in quadrant 3 and I go 90 degrees clockwise, which is to the right, what quadrant should I end up in?
Oh, 2.
2. You could also just draw a little, curved right arrow and just follow that arrow. Boom. I end up here in quadrant 2. I'm going to dot my dots. Here's N prime, O prime, and M prime. Boom, boom, boom. There's triangle 2, there's triangle 1. Give me a thumbs up if you got that for the first question. Very nice. Now for the second one, I'm going 90 degrees again, but what direction am I going this time? What direction? Left? What does it say? 90 degrees what? Counterclockwise, which is to the left. So if I do a little curved left arrow and follow that arrow, what quadrant do I end up in here? Quadrant 3. Thank you, Hakeem. B prime, C prime, and A prime. Give me a thumbs up if you got that for the second one. Great job. What do we think? Seems okay? Maybe a little weird, need more practice, or really, really bad?
I think it's kind of easy.
Kind of easy?
Easy.
Okay.
It's easy.
We'll see how much of that